Okay, by far the most common thing that I get from brand new students is I can't keep up with the group. Let's talk about things to be checking if you can't keep up with the group and the overlying issue that is really not your fault. Let's get a boat and get on the water. Okay, here are the things that I check when someone comes to me and says, I can't keep up with the group. So this is usually people who are doing like a meetup group or a club paddle or something like that. And they come to me and they're like, I'm working really hard, but I'm not going real fast. So here are the things that I check in this order. It's really one thing, then a group of things, then a whole other thing. In Brett's world, that description makes sense. So the first thing that I check is fit within the cockpit. Does the person fit in the boat well? Are they sliding around a lot? Are the pedals adjusted correctly? Is the seat adjusted well for them? Those are the things that I'm primarily checking. If your boat does not fit you correctly, then you're going to be sliding around, and when you go to paddle, instead of transmitting power to the boat, you're giving it away as you slide around inside the cockpit. Okay, the next thing that I'm checking are all of the forward stroke stuff. All of the forward stroke stuff. Is the paddler pushing or pulling the paddle is number one. So remember, I teach forward stroke in 3 phases. First is the push, right? And so the push generally looks like this. Hands coming straight across the face. It's a gentle push, but really all it does is counteract the pull. The pull, the dead giveaway, is this. The elbows come way back, and the paddle comes out of the water back here, not up here, right? So push, push, pull. The dead giveaway is the elbow. The next thing that I'm looking for is torso rotation. Are we getting torso rotation? I generally look for something here: buckles, snaps, zippers. This snap, when I'm looking at my own, is how much is that moving? And on each stroke, you should be going like this. And we say torso rotation, but think of it as belly button rotation, right? So push, rotate, hands are straight across, hands aren't dipping. Are they still rotating on an edge? Those are the 2 things that I'm looking for. And then the third is leg drive. Are they pushing with their legs? I've done a bunch of videos on leg drive. I don't have a camera mounted below deck today, so you can't see leg drive. But are they getting good leg drive? Those are the 3 things stroke-wise that I'm looking for. And you can fine-tune it more than that. Where is the blade entering water? Where is the blade coming out of the water? Is the blade going too far into the water? Is the blade not going in far enough? I'm looking for little things like that. Little tweaks, little hints that there is a stroke issue, right? So my first thing is it a fit issue? My second thing is it a stroke issue? I would say 40% of the time it's a fit issue, and everyone has a little bit of stroke issue that can be corrected, including myself, which is one of the nice things about doing what I do, is that I regularly get to see my stroke on video. Those are the things that the paddler has control over, that we can work on to fix. Now let's talk about the overarching problem that the paddler may not have the ability to control. And this is frequently part of the problem as well. The problem is that as a new paddler, you should never be in a situation where you feel like you're holding up the group. That is a leadership problem, and it's a group problem. So the smart thing for leaders to do is to have the new paddler be the point boat so that they can set the pace, or you have the new paddler as like a mothership, and all the other paddlers have to swirl around the mothership boat. And you can do that without the new paddler even knowing, and it's a good way to not stress out the new paddler. Being the point boat can be a little stressful. I remember paddling last time I was in Alaska with Knowles. The first time I was the point boat, I was super nervous, even though I was the most experienced paddler, because I was like, what if I'm holding everybody up? So anytime that a new paddler feels like they are like slowing the group down, holding the group up, that's a failure of leadership. That's not a paddler problem, that's a group problem. And that is the problem with meetup groups like this, is people don't always take a leadership role, even though there is a de facto leader, whoever the organizer of that group is. So anytime that you have a paddler who's like can't keep up or is slowing the group down, then that's a good time to put them at the head of the group and let them set the pace. It is a cold and windy November day, but it still feels good to paddle. Okay, so that is, as I said, things that will make it harder for you to keep up with the group. And of course, the whole leadership aspect that we talked about, all super important. Remember, it's not your fault. Like, you do have a responsibility to have your stroke be as good as it can be, but in the beginning, that's not going to happen. The group should be taking care of you. That is super important to me. Of course, all this stuff is covered in numerous videos I'll link to down below. I've written books about forward stroke. I literally wrote a book that is, I think at the moment, only available for iPad on the Apple bookstore, just called Forward. That's all it's about, is the forward stroke. It's covered a lot of different places, and as I said, I've done a bunch of videos. So tons of resources for you if you're still working on your forward stroke. And I do, for free, forward stroke consultation. If you send me video of you paddling, I'll send you back pictures that are like annotated with things that you can be working on. If you like this, do me a favor, hit like and hit subscribe. As I said, my books are available on Ko-fi in digital form and on Amazon in paperback form and physical form. Tons of stuff available for you on Ko-fi. And other than that, I'll see you on the water.